You don't wake up because you never really sleep. Your sleep is just a short, jerky coma between two doses of cheap caffeine and panic attacks that squeeze your chest like a vise. You open your eyes, and the first thing you see is the ceiling of your office. It's covered in yellow stains from water seeping in from the floor above, where an old woman with 20 cats lives. That smell? A mix of cat urine, old paper, and your own stale sweat. It's the smell of your life. You get up. Your spine crunches, reminding you that the cheap faux leather sofa is not a bed. You walk over to the window. Behind the glass is the gray cobweb of the city that chewed you up and spat you out. It's been raining for 3 weeks. It's not the beautiful cinematic rain from film noir. It's a dirty mist that turns roads into swamps and people into faceless gray shadows. You're a lawyer. Sounds proud, right? Mom would be proud if she lived. But you're not the kind of lawyer you see in TV shows about tall glass skyscrapers and $3,000 suits. Your suit was bought on sale, the sleeves are a little too long, and there's a coffee stain on your lapel that no dry cleaner can remove. Your specialty is unsolvable cases. That's a euphemism. You're a forest ranger who cleans up the shit for those who have money, or the last chance for those who don't have it but are willing to sell a kidney. You pull out small-time dealers who have been framed by the cops. You find loopholes for alimony. You're the king of procedural errors and lost evidence. Your office is a semi-basement in a residential area where the sign Legal Services blinks like it's having an epileptic seizure. You look at your watch. 8 o'clock. Time for a dose of reality. The phone rings. The sound cuts through the air like a blade. You know who it is before you even look at the screen. Quote 2, your hand trembles as you swipe across the screen. Quote 3, quote 4, Danya, your younger brother, the only thing left of your normality, the only anchor keeping you afloat in this sewage system. He's 17, and his kidneys are failing. The genetic lottery your family has always lost. What happened? Your voice is hoarse. You try to sound confident. Like in court, but it doesn't work here. The tests are critical. Dialysis no longer helps as much as it used to. The body is exhausted. There is an option for a transplant abroad. We have a quote 6 in an Israeli clinic. But how much? You interrupt. You know that everything in this world comes down to a number. $40,000. It's urgent. We have 72 hours to confirm the reservation and pay for the transportation. Otherwise, the line will pass to someone else. And Danya? He may not wait for the next chance. 40,000. You hang up the phone. The silence in the office becomes deafening. You hear the old refrigerator humming, the water dripping from the tap. $40,000. For someone, it's the cost of a watch. For you, it's an astronomical sum. You have 200 hryvnias and a pack of cheap cigarettes in your pocket. The account is zero. The debts for the office rent hang like a sword of Damocles. You start to act. You always act. You are a lawyer, damn it. You know how to negotiate. The first hour is humiliation. You call old friends from university, those who sit in glass towers. Hello, Andre, remember me? Listen, here's the thing. They smell your desperation through the phone. The voices become cold, formal. Sorry, I can't right now. Money in assets. Crisis. You hear them mentally crossing you off the list of the living. For them, you are a ghost of failure, a contagious patient. The second hour is panic. You go to the bank. You sit opposite a girl with a plastic smile who looks at the monitor and sees your credit history. She sees your late payments, your microloans, your financial bottom. Unfortunately, the system automatically rejected your request. You want to scream. You want to grab this monitor and smash it against her perfect hairstyle. But you just nod. Thank you. You go outside and the rain hits your face, washing away the remnants of dignity. 3 o'clock is the bottom. You call your clients debtors, those you pulled out of the shit. Pasha sends you a direct text. You are nobody. You have no. You are just a smart guy with a diploma who is now begging for alms. Evening. 72 hours have turned into 60. You are sitting in the darkness of the office. Alcohol from a cheap bottle burns your throat, but does not drown out the fear. You imagine Danya, his pale face, the bruises under his eyes, the tubes sticking out of his skinny arms. He believes in you. Quote 14, he said last week. You're a superhero to him, but in reality you're a clown in holy shoes. The office door opens without a knock. You flinch. A man stands in the doorway. He looks too expensive for this area. Cashmere coat, perfect haircut, leather gloves. He doesn't wince at the musty smell. He ignores it. Behind him stands another one, a closet with empty eyes. Security. Are you taking it? The guest's voice is calm, velvety, but there's a hint of towel. It depends on the case. You try to gather the remnants of professional pride. The man walks over and sits down on a client chair. He puts a folder on the table. It's thick. My name is Artur, but that doesn't matter. What matters is my son. You know who he is. Artur Voronov, a local developer whose houses stand on the sites of former parks. A man who buys mayors and buries his competitors in the foundations. My son, Denis, he continues, got a little excited. Last night, the Ecstasy Club. You heard about it on the news. A girl was brutally beaten. She's in a coma. Witnesses saw everything. The cameras recorded it. This isn't just a crime. This is a butcher's job under the influence of coke. The police have already picked up the trail, but they haven't made an arrest yet. Dad has bought some time. Everyone says this is the end, Voronov says, looking you straight in the eye. My lawyers, the ones who charge $500 an hour, say that the most they can do is reduce the term to 5 years. That doesn't suit me. Denis won't sit down. Not for a day. He opens the folder. There are photos, the girl's disfigured face, expert reports. This is a quote 16 in reverse. Everything is clear as day here. Guilty. They told me that you are taking on the impossible, that you find mistakes where there are none, that you know how to convince reality to change. It will cost a lot. Your voice sounds foreign. You understand what he is proposing. This is not a defense. This is the destruction of the case. This is falsification, blackmail, moral suicide. $50,000 in cash. Today is an advance. The rest, after an acquittal or the case is closed before the trial. 50,000. The figure hangs in the air. This is Danny's life. This is his kidney. This is his future. But the price? The price is the freedom of a sadist who could kill someone else tomorrow. You look at the photo of the girl. She's no more than 20. Her life is broken. If you agree, you'll finish her off a second time. You'll become an accomplice. Quote 17. Voronov takes an envelope from his inside pocket and throws it on the table. It's heavy. The dull thud of a wad of money hitting the cheap wood sounds like a gunshot. You look at the envelope, then at the folder, then at the phone, where the screensaver is a photo of a smiling Dana before her illness. You take the folder. I need access to the investigation materials, the contacts of all the witnesses, and complete carte blanche on the methods. You know nothing about how I'm going to do it. Voronov smiles. It's not a good smile. It's the grin of a shark that's met another shark. Quote 19. He leaves. You are left alone with the money and the devil you just let into your soul. You take the envelope. Your hands are shaking. You count it. 25,000. That's enough to start the process at the clinic. You call the doctor. Kovalchuk, I found the money. I'll tell you tomorrow morning. Get Danya ready. You drink the rest of the whiskey down your throat. A warm wave of euphoria mixes with nausea. You saved your brother. You are a hero. You look in the mirror in the corner. There's a monster standing there, but a monster with money. The next 48 hours turn into a blurry blur of adrenaline and dirt. You're no longer a lawyer. You're a director. Your task is to rewrite the script of reality. You start with the witnesses. There are three of them: the bartender, the victim's girlfriend, and the club security guard. The security guard is the simplest. He has debts for slot machines. You find his debt collectors, buy off his debt using Voronov's money, and confront him with the fact. Either he saw that the girl herself provoked the conflict and was high on drugs, or the collectors will return with a soldering iron. He signs the statement with a trembling hand. The victim's girlfriend is more complicated. She is principled. She wants justice. You dig under her. You find her old photos on a webcam site. You find correspondence where she discusses selling weed. You come to her not as a lawyer but as a well-wisher. You put printouts in front of her. If you appear in court, everyone will see it. Your parents, your university, your fiancé. Do you want to save your girlfriend or destroy your life? She cries. She hates you. She spits in your face. But she takes the statement. The victim remains alone. She is in a coma. But there is an examination. You go to the expert, an old alcoholic in the state morgue. You bring him a bottle of Blue Label and an envelope. I need amphetamine and traces of aggression to be found in her blood, that she attacked herself, that Dennis defended himself. The expert looks at you with cloudy eyes. He saw everything. He doesn't care. He takes the envelope. It will be done. Court. Day X. You enter the courtroom. You are wearing a new suit, but you feel as if you are dressed in the skin of a dead man. Denis Voronov is sitting in the dock. He is chewing gum. He looks at you with a sneer. He knows that you are bought. He knows that you are his bitch. The prosecutor is a young guy, an idealist. He speaks passionately. He shows photographs. The audience cries. But then you stand up. You are calm. You are cold. You are a surgeon who cuts out the truth. Your Honor, you say? The investigation made a fatal mistake. We have evidence that the victim was in a state of severe drug intoxication and attacked my client, threatening him with a quote 23 from a bottle. You are drawing false conclusions. You are quoting bought witnesses. You break down the prosecutor's arguments with logic built on lies. You see the judge's face change, doubt. That's all you need. Reasonable doubt. Nobody, no case is for the movies. In life, if there is doubt, there is no verdict. The last speech. You talk about the presumption of innocence, about how easy it is to accuse the golden youth. You yourself almost believe in your lies. You feel the power. You control destinies. You are a god in this hall. The judge goes to the deliberation room. Time stretches like rubber. Voronov Sr. sits in the front row. He nods at you, barely noticeable. Verdict: to find the defendant not guilty due to the lack of elements of a crime in his actions. The actions are qualified as necessary self-defense. The hall explodes. Shouts of "Shame!" The mother of the beaten girl faints. Dennis laughs and hugs his father. You gather the papers. Your hands don't shake. Not anymore. You've done the job. At the exit, Voronov hands you a second envelope. You're a wizard, he says. Call me if you need a job. I have many friends who have problems. You take the money. It doesn't smell. It smells like Dana's life. You get in a taxi. To the airport? The driver asks. No. To the St. Pantaleimon Clinic. Faster. You drive through the city. The rain has stopped. The sun has come out. It blinds your eyes. You feel an incredible sense of relief. You've defeated the system. You've cheated fate. You've done something terrible, but for a good cause. The end justifies the means, right? You saved your brother. He'll live. You'll take him to Israel. You'll start a new life. You'll quit this dirty work. You rush into the clinic. Your heart is pounding. In your pocket is a ticket to the future. You go up to the third floor, to the intensive care unit. The corridor is empty, too quiet. The nurse on duty looks up. She doesn't smile. She looks away. Something is wrong. A cold ball of fear unfurls in your stomach. You approach Danny's room. The door is open, the bed is perfectly made up, empty. The life support machine is off, the screen is black. On the bedside table is a glass of water and his favorite book. You stand in the doorway, clutching an envelope of dirty money. You hear footsteps behind you. It's Dr. Kovalchuk. He puts his hand on your shoulder. His hand is heavy. "We called you?" he says quietly. "An hour ago, during a meeting, you didn't pick up the phone." "Where is he?" you whisper. Your voice breaks. "I brought the money. I brought everything. Where is he?" The doctor is silent for a second. This second lasts an eternity. His heart stopped. We tried to start it. Half an hour of resuscitation. The body couldn't handle the load. "I'm sorry." You look at the empty bed. You look at the envelope in your hand. $25,000. The price of a rapist's freedom. The price of your soul. And Danya is dead. He died at the very moment you uttered the words, "My client is innocent." The universe doesn't just laugh at you. It laughs. It smears you on the wall. You fall to your knees right in the hallway. The envelope falls from your hands. Wads of dollars scatter across the cheap linoleum. Green pieces of paper. Nobody needs green pieces of paper. You scream. But there's no sound. There is only a black hole inside, which is beginning to suck in all the light. You did not save him. You killed yourself. And the worst thing is that you are now rich, and you are completely, irrevocably free from everything that made you human. You do not visit your brother's grave. Not once. The dead do not care about granite slabs, and the living do not care. Instead, you build yourself a mausoleum during your lifetime. 3 years pass. You are no longer the trembling boy in the sail jacket. You burned that jacket in the trash can on the day of the funeral, along with the remnants of your conscience. Now you are wearing Italian silk, custom made in Milan. It fits like a second skin, or like scales. Your new office is on the 45th floor of the Skyline Tower. Glass walls from floor to ceiling. The whole city lies at your feet like a beaten dog. From here, people seem like ants. Their problems, deaths, illnesses are just statistics. You look at them and feel nothing but a slight disgust. You have learned to turn this emptiness into gold. You have become a brand. The solver. If a deputy finds a dead prostitute in his trunk, they call you. If an oligarch's son knocks down a pedestrian crossing, they call you. You do not go to court. Court is a theater for the poor. You solve problems in offices, saunas, and in the back seats of armored Maybachs. You know the rates of every judge, prosecutor, and chief of police in this city. You are the lubricant that keeps rusty gears turning. Your morning does not begin with cheap coffee, but with a track of cocaine on a glass table. This is not an addiction, you tell yourself. It is fuel. Your brain works at speeds inaccessible to ordinary mortals. You see the matrix of laws and know where the holes are. Artur Voronov is now your best friend. No, more. He is your godfather in this world. You saved his son, and he made you part of the family. You sit in on his meetings. You launder his money through offshore companies whose names you cannot pronounce. You rationalize evil every day. If it weren't for me, someone else would have done it. But worse, I'm just a tool. It's not the hammer's fault that they cracked his skull. You convince yourself that you control the chaos. You donate huge sums to orphanages, anonymously. It's your indulgence. You think you're buying yourself a place in heaven, but in reality, you're just paying rent in hell. Denis Voronov, the same murderous boy you pulled out, now visits you often. He's grown up, but the same emptiness remains in his eyes. He calls you bro. He thinks you're friends. You look at him and see a walking corpse who's still breathing for some reason. Sometimes you want to strangle him, but he's the boss's son, a sacred cow. False victory the call. Late evening. You stand on the balcony of your penthouse, holding a glass of whiskey worth a year's salary of a teacher. "Come," says Voronov Sr.'s voice. It sounds different, weak. The Olympus restaurant. The entire floor is closed to us. You drive, your car cuts through the night city. You feel like the king of the jungle. The restaurant is empty. Only one table in the center of the hall, set as if for the Last Supper. Voronov sits alone. He looks old. Yellow skin, trembling hands. Cancer. You knew about the rumors, but now you see the truth. Sit down, son, he says. He pours you wine. With his own hand. It's a gesture of the utmost trust. I don't have long left, quote 41. The doctors give me a month. The empire needs a new emperor. Dennis? He's weak. He's stupid. Good. Do you know what the main problem with smart lawyers is? What? You think you are smarter than those who pay you money. You forget your place. Dennis steps out of the shadows. He smiles. He has a phone in his hands. He takes your picture. Did you think Dad would give you everything? To you? To the staff? Dennis laughs. His laugh is nasty, high-pitched. You saved me, yes, but you know too much. You are a witness to my sins. And witnesses don't live long. Voronov Sr. gets up and goes to the window. The agreement you signed? You didn't even read the fine print on the last page, my brilliant friend. This isn't just management. This is an admission of guilt. He turns to you. You took it all on yourself. Money laundering, contract killings, bribing judges. You just signed a confession that you were the Grey Cardinal who manipulated me and my son. You want to scream, but only a hoarseness escapes from your throat. The paralysis rises higher. This is not a poison for murder. This is a muscle relaxant. You will be conscious, but you will not be able to move. Tonight they will find you in your car. Voronov continues. Overdose. Classic. In your safe, they will find this confession and a suicide note. Conscience tormented. The press will eat it up. The police will close the case because it is profitable for them to hang all the grouses in 5 years for one dead lawyer. You look at them, father and son, two monsters, and you are the third monster that they feed to the crowd. The irony of fate hits you harder than paralysis. You sold your soul for the sake of your brother who died. You sold your conscience for the sake of the authorities who are killing you. You betrayed the law, and now lawlessness is destroying you. Climb in and fall. Dennis and the guard, the same closet you knew, lift you up. You're like a rag doll. They drag you to the service exit. Quote 50, Denny whispers in your ear. Quote 51. They throw you into the back seat of your own Jaguar. The familiar smell of leather in the cabin now makes you nauseous. Dennis gets behind the wheel. The guard is nearby. They take you to the embankment, where it all began, to the unfinished bridge, the investment in which you helped steal. The car stops. Darkness. Only the city lights are far away, like indifferent stars. They pull you out. You lie on the wet concrete. You feel the cold of the stones through your expensive suit. The rain begins to drizzle. This damn rain again. Dennis takes out a syringe. This is a golden shot, he says. Pure heroin. You will die high. Say thank you. He bends over you. You look into his eyes. Into the same eyes that looked at you in court 3 years ago. Then there was fear in them. Now there is excitement. You created this monster. You gave him a sense of impunity. Now he closes the circle. The shot. The needle enters the vein. You feel the warmth spreading through your body. It is not pain. It is a terrible, viscous darkness. They put you behind the wheel. Dennis wipes off the fingerprints. Goodbye, legend. He slams the door. You are alone. Your body is dying. Your heart is slowing down. Knock, knock, knock. Your brain is still working. The last minutes. Your Jaguar is standing on the edge of a cliff. They won't even push the car. They'll just leave you here, like garbage. Resolution and reflection. Breathing becomes shallow. The picture floats before your eyes. You try to remember something good. Money? It turned to ash. Power? It was an illusion. Women? You don't even remember their names. Suddenly, Danny's face appears before your eyes, not the one in the coffin, but the little one who laughed when you played football in the yard, breaking your knees. Quote 52, his voice echoes in your head. You haven't decided. You've lost the most important case. The case of your own life. You thought you were playing chess with the devil, but you were just a pawn who imagined herself a queen. A tear rolls down your cheek. The only one? It's hot. This is the only real thing you have created in the last 3 years. The darkness narrows to a point. You hear the sound of the rain. It washes away the dirt from the city. It will wash away you too. You wanted to be someone. You are dying a nobody. And the worst part is, you know it is fair. It is the only fair sentence you have ever received. The last heartbeat. Silence. No credits. Just a black screen. And the sound of the rain that will not stop.